This is why I would never ever work with friends. Today we're diving into a topic that some of you might be able to relate to, and it's important that you watch till the end if you're thinking about starting a dropshipping business with your friends. Trust me, whilst having friends by your side running your business may seem like a great idea, in reality it may actually cause a lot of harm to your friendship, and it's probably best not to. And I'm going to break down all the points in this video. So the first point we want to talk about is work ethic. Everyone operates differently and everyone is brought up differently, so everyone's work ethic is going to be different. Your friend might have a more relaxed approach, thinking it's all fun and games, while you might be working day and night trying to grow the business. Now from the get-go, you both might be working your asses off, but over time your friend might drift off or yourself might drift off. And this is what people don't really realize. What if your friend wants to spend more time with their girlfriend? Or what if your friend meets a new girlfriend or a new group of friends and they want to spend more time with them? Sorry guys, if my throat sounds a bit croaky, it's because I have a sore throat, but I just want to get this video out. So the difference can cause frustration and resentment over time, and in a professional setting like at work, it's very easy to address these differences. But with friends and with your own business, it can lead to awkward and damaging confrontations. Consistency and commitment are key to success, and I mention this across all my videos, and not everyone will match your level of dedication. I will only consider working with friends if they have the same work ethic as me and drive as I do. I try to outwork everyone around me and constantly push myself to do better. So salaries is also a very big topic. Discussing salaries and income with friends can be very uncomfortable, especially if you're not very comfortable with talking about money with your friends. And this is because money is a very sensitive topic. Disagreements about salaries can quickly sour friendships. Establishing salaries is essential, but it's very hard to achieve. Like, how do you decide who gets paid what amount? What if one of you feels undervalued or overworked, but you're getting paid the same amount? Or what if one person is running ads and the other person is only replying to customers? Like, does one get paid more and one get paid less? The next point I want to talk about is actually dividing profits and also losses. Dividing profits and losses can be super difficult to sort out. It may sound easy to split profits in theory and beforehand, like let's just say, oh, we agreed to do 50-50 because there's two of us. But when it actually comes to time to distribute the money in the profit or the loss, feelings of unfairness can actually arise. What if one person feels like they've overworked and want a larger share? Does more work equate to more profit? Does the person managing the marketing strategies get more profit? Or does the person choosing winning products get more profit? Let's say you found 5 winning products that scaled to the moon, but your friend found none. Does that mean you get more money? So there's a few questions to be answered. What happens if the business goes into a loss? Who's going to cover the losses? Do you have the capital to cover the losses? These questions can lead to major conflicts, but they really need to be discussed beforehand. I suggest having a formal agreement in place that you constantly go back to and review. So making decisions. In any business, decisions need to be made swiftly and effectively, especially when shit hits the fan. And this can be like ads not working, products not working, product issues, out of stock, pivoting to a new market. There's so many questions to be answered and so many decisions to be made. When friends are involved, personal opinions and emotions can cloud judgment. You might be finding yourself compromising a lot to keep the peace between your friends, leading to poor business decisions. On the flip side, strong disagreements can also become personal and sour the friendship. A clear decision-making process is harder to maintain when friends are involved. Who will decide on when to cut ads? Who will decide on when to move on from products or stores or different markets? Who will decide to deal with the finances, taxes, expenses, etc.? Who's going to keep up with cash flow, profit and loss statements and stuff like that? Next, we're going to talk about expenses. Managing expenses in any business requires transparency and trust between you two. When friends are involved, there might be assumptions and misunderstandings about spending. It might be like, oh, you're my friend, it's fine, I'll just spend, we'll just put it under the company. Who decides what is a necessary expense? And how much can you expense per month? Will you two have allowances? What if one person is more frugal and the other one loves spending? What if one starts spending more without telling the other, like in 2 to 3 years' time? These differences and situations can lead to arguments and financial strain. Next, we're going to talk about delegation and tasks. Delegating tasks can become complicated with friends. Like, do you two have different skill sets? Or do you have the same skill set and you need to learn new skill sets? Who's going to learn that new skill? You might hesitate to assign tasks, not giving honest feedback because you may offend them. Or your friend may not take tasks seriously because they see you as a friend first and a business partner second. What if you two have an argument on a personal level, but then you need to still do work? Are you professional enough to split personal life away from business? Because of all these points, it may lead to inefficiency, decreased productivity, and lower output over time. Clear role definitions are crucial but hard to enforce in a friendship, especially when launching a new business that has many tasks. For example, when you launch in a dropshipping business, you need to pick a niche, create the brand, create the website, upload products, create descriptions, edit product images, designing website banners, designing emails, setting up all the apps, creating all the ads, creating all the ad creatives, creating all the ad copies, researching competitors, researching ads. There's just a bunch of tasks to do, and not to mention like finances. Oof, there's so much to do. But that is the reality of running a dropshipping business. So the quality of work done. Maintaining a high quality of work is essential for the success of any business. However, friends might assume that you can slack off during weekends or evenings, or just slack off in general when it comes to doing tasks. What if somebody rushes their task? What if somebody isn't truthful about the amount of work they put in? You can't always monitor your friends, right? Do you have to track time spent working on a business? Is this even ethical to keep track of how much work your friend does on a daily basis? You don't want to become that mean boss that everyone hates, where you're tracking the amount of hours people spend working. Will this lead to trust issues? Will this affect your actual relationship with your friend on a personal basis? And this can lead to inconsistent work quality, which ultimately harms the business. Holding your friends accountable for failures can be tough, but if you don't, how can a business ever grow? Poor performance is hard to address without damaging the relationship. And last but not least is aligning goals. Everyone needs to be on the same page regarding the vision and objectives of the business. Friends might have different personal goals or level of commitment. And yes, these goals may be the same at the beginning, but over time these goals and commitments may change. Conflicts and misalignment over time. Will everyone be equally invested and motivated for long-term success? What happens if someone has new goals in life? What if they want to move countries? What if they want to start different business with other friends? What if they want to actually just not continue with the business? Will you set business goals together from the beginning? And how will they adapt over time? And that's it, guys. Mixing friendships with business can complicate things in ways you might not anticipate. In my honest opinion, it's better to keep personal and professional lives separate. That means I would never ever work with friends when it comes to businesses. This is just to avoid these issues and to preserve your friendships. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel for more tips on running a successful dropshipping business. Peace.